Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3, Episode 2, and things have changed in the world of Jujutsu Sorcery, and they're not stopping here. They are going to continue to change. Gojo's sealing has literally changed the rules, in particular of the Zenin clan's now succession crisis, making our boy the next head of the Zenin clan unless something else should be done about that. Naoya Zenin has now taken it upon himself to slay Yuji, the vessel of Sukuna, and he thinks he can do it. And maybe he can. The lady walking behind him didn't seem to think that he could do it. We were reintroduced to Yuji in the middle of a destroyed city, running around fighting curses and sort of operating in a partial dream state, a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit unable to reconcile what has happened. And I want to mention something about that has been mentioned in a number of comments and on the Discord. There is a strong parallel, and I didn't click for me because I wasn't looking for a reference inside the bounds of the story of Jujutsu Kaisen. I was looking for a reference outside it in the open world, but that's actually made me realize something really important. The scene where Yuji is washing his hands is like a cousin or a brother to the scene of Geto in the shower. They're like the same scene to me. Here's this overwhelm, being distraught about your own actions, about your own existence in this world, and not knowing what to do about it, not having an option for what to do about it, and then continuing on. What's amazing to me is that the scene registered for me as a reference, but I expected it to be a reference to some great work from the past, and it turns out it is. It's just a reference to this great work from the past. And that's pretty fucking cool, that you can do a season of a show that is so damn good and so full of interesting moments that pieces of it have entered what I considered the canon, that are like, these are things that can now be referenced by other things and people are actually going to get it. And that's in them. And now this is too. That really excites me. And it, I think, captures something about watching Jujutsu Kaisen that I haven't been able to put into words. Although I've brushed up against it in the last season, and I've brushed up against it on certain other shows. The one that I bring up sometimes is Demon Slayer. You know, we watched the episode 17 and 18 of Demon Slayer, and I came away from that with like a, oh shit, this is important. Like, this is going to anchor itself inside the memories of people and be a thing that they look back to and compare against and reference. And that's really fucking cool. But I just realized in moment that happened with last season of Jujutsu Kaisen. There are big elements of that season that are big enough and like recognizable enough and specific and interesting and unique enough to be new entries into the canon of shit worth referencing, if that makes some kind of sense. That's so cool. That's so cool. And then we move on in the show, and we've got artists building on top of that substructure that they've created, of that foundation that's been laid in season 2 for the most part. And I don't know what else could be cooler than that. Like, that's so fucking cool. We're watching the art form literally evolve piece by piece as we go. I love it. I think it's awesome. Okay. Now Yazenin, he has an ability. We'll get to that in a little bit. Red windows, stained glass. Really interesting tone. And I think at that point, I want to transition to doing our first comment spotlight for a very long time. Monko Man! If you don't know Monko Man runs a YouTube channel and talks about anime production and individual artists and creators and stuff. If you are interested in the production side, go check out Monko's channel. He's got a lot of interesting information, and I'm really grateful that he shows up in my comment section sometimes to give me more information on the shows that I watch. It's awesome. Monko Man writes, "Yo, glad JJK is back. Great Sukuna drawing, by the way. Might be my favorite from you. Yeah, I was really happy with that one. Thank you for the praise. I'm glad you mentioned the amount of effort that goes into a single drawing. Really puts into perspective the work Mitani put into this episode. Should be easily around 3,000 to 5,000 drawings." Because I sort of asked rhetorically, like, how many drawings is that? To do this section, to do a couple minutes, to do whatever. How many fucking drawings is that, really? 3 to 5,000. That's a lot of drawings. That's like so much time and effort. And it's not just rote effort either. You're not transcribing words, one to one or anything like that. You're creating. There's like actual creative intent and energy going into each of those drawings. Almost unimaginable, like truly. Would have been cool if you checked out Masahiro Tokumaru's scene on the Buru as well, the bridge scene, which is another massive solo effort. Artists like him and Goso blur the line between self-made and studio-made CGI elements. A lot of the granular bits in his scene should be his own work on Blender, likely including the whole bridge too. And at that point, we are going to do exactly that, and we're going to go look at it. I don't know how I missed it. It was in the Sakuga Buru list, but I somehow skipped over it. But here it is. It's the bridge scene. We get all the water going at the base, and then the guys leaping and jumping with immense amounts of momentum, all the while Yuji is holding his line. The big, rushing, twisting bridge, and then the flip off the top. I actually wanted to mention something about this flip off the top. For a moment, he hangs in space, and I'm reminded of Gojo up above everything, like, in all heaven and earth, I am the only, But Yuji is not the chosen one. He is not the blessed one in this circumstance. He gets attacked from his reverie up in space by these monsters and shit. It feels like an interesting counterpoint to me. Whoa. Boom. Yeah, he takes to the skies. And there are moments of almost peace, but he is in battle during this. So these blips and blobs are likely solo created by Tokumaru in Blender, which makes a lot more sense why they kind of look jank. Like I mentioned in scene when we watched it and in the discussion after, that they kind of look jank, but I don't know what else you were going to do. It seems like it would be impossible to draw them all. That it's just done by one person and not like the whole CG effort of the staff going on this makes it make a lot more sense to me. And it's still really cool. The amount of momentum that we're able to generate out of those objects flying by and stuff is really freaking cool. And then we take the freight train express over into another building, get a big explosion, whomped on the side of the skyscraper all the way through, and we are still in Masahiro Tokumaru's cut. This is still cut. Sequence of cuts, right? Like, we're not even halfway. Attacked by the other guy, running down the hallways, big parkour, smashing into stuff, all the way through into the color change, into Choso reveal, and then this big multi-blast through, and the finale. That's crazy. I'm glad that people mentioned that I should probably go and check out that cut, because that is a cut worth checking out. That's an incredible solo effort. I'm reminded of some of the solo efforts that have carried Dan to Dan over its course. Incredible what a person with pen and paper and some digital tools to add on top of it can really do. Really freaking cool. Okay. Monko continues, I don't know if you've used Keyframe's staff list website before. I had not. I checked it out this morning, and I will continue to use it in Sakuga sections in the future, or at least I'll try to. I would do recommend going through it for JJKS3, not necessarily on video, but just checking out the storyboard credit for each episode, also to check the artists behind the OP and ED, etc. You mentioned there being a stronger vision here. It's practiced for the entire season, and the reason lies in the massive effort behind Goso's supervision. I love the mix of live-action flavor that he brings into work, and I think this is where we get to Monko bringing through some really useful information for me that registers unconsciously, but I didn't have the conscious words for it, and Monko delivers those to me, so I'm really grateful for that. Thank you very much. I love the mix of live-action flavor that he brings to his work. Grounding the scale of animation with realistic elements might sound counterproductive, but he doesn't do that. What Goso does is simply introduce the tangibility of real life into the 2D world to make it feel so much more alive and connected. It's a directorial technique that's always been popular among idiosyncratic enshutsu, but Goso pulled it off at an entirely different scale for this season. It's not just about the appeal of, for example, the handheld camera shake and blur, although that was the part that I most consciously noticed, but the appeal that comes from the art of videography as a whole. At 57:36, you see Yuji in the foreground and Choso in the back, except that they're both in focus. Goso is pulling off a split diopter shot, completely unconventional in animation, but also deeply easy to execute in a medium where everything is drawn, provided you are aware of and understand the appeal of a shot like that, which most don't, considering they work in a medium that doesn't utilize a physical camera or a lens. So I think this is a fascinating example, using film and cinematographic techniques that come through in Hollywood film to add a filmic style, add a cinematographic style to animation, which traditionally does away with those things because it doesn't have to deal with them. You can put everything in focus as much as you want in a piece of animation because you just draw all the layers, easy peasy. But if you want to make it feel more grounded, like it's a person watching, and to like hook in or root in to all of the film logic and the film like visuals that you're familiar with, at least unconsciously, and tell you a story through the medium being used in a unique way. I I think that's really cool and really clever, and it demonstrates like a love for one art form being pulled from to elevate this other art form. And because animation and film are so intricately linked, and there are many years of people making animation in the style of film, in the style of cinema, there's a lot to do there, and a lot of it shouldn't be new ground, right? And yet it seems novel. It feels like new ground. It feels like it's extra, and I really like that it's extra. I like that it's going above and beyond and exploring interesting and new things, and maybe some of them won't land, maybe some of the techniques and styles we use will be weird and off-putting, and that's great. That's great to be able to do that kind of experimentation in a like top of the line. People love this show. People are really excited about it. It's a huge property, and to be experimenting in that space, not just playing it safe, not just trying to do a sort of bog standard shonen actions thing so that people are happy with what they see and nothing too risky gets done. I love that we're swinging for the fences. I love that we're taking risks. I love the way that it's coming out and coming together, and I'm really excited to see more. So, there's one last note, which is that I'm supposed to know all about Naoya's technique because we met his father. Yeah, Naobito with the 24 FPS frame interpolation shit, and it's pretty fucking OP, honestly. That explains why this guy is turning into a bunch of frames. I wonder if he's some, like, evolution of that. Like, I hate him so much that I want him to be the 60 FPS interpolated 4K anime upscaled videos that I hate that are on YouTube. I think that would be really funny and also a very overpowered power for him if he's able to just go many frames faster if he wants to or whatever. I think that would be very silly and kind of cool. Yeah. Okay, so thank you to Monko for the big comment. I think it helps me frame out like the style and ideas that are present in this season moving forward. And that's really the only part that I wanted to do, touching back on the last episode. Now we turn our attention to the future. What does the future hold? Well, it holds a broken sword in the chest for Yuji and a Naoya Zenin facing off against Choso with a will to kill. We went from bad to worse rather quickly over the course of this. Maybe we could have a new friend show up and save us? Maybe? Can we get some help? And maybe we'll have an internal monster come out and save us. And maybe that's not help that we actually want in a moment like this. I don't know. We're going to have to watch the episode and find out. But before we do that, I need to do a drawing. And I say need with specificity this time because I actually need the results of this drawing for the thumbnail that I want to build for Jujutsu Kaisen. There's this one key image that is in the ED, and it's kind of scattered all over, and it was one of the posters, and it's the red window. And one of the frames that I really like is the like dark blue Yuji in front behind this sort of red window that's sort of anchored in his skull almost is the feeling that I have. It's a very interesting image, and I like it a lot. And I want to use it for the portion of my thumbnail that's over here where the text is, because it's all like solid color, red and black, and I want to use it. Normally, I would just go and grab the key image and like cut it out and manipulate it in GIMP or something like that and make it all work. But the existing key image isn't big enough. If I blow it up or expand it, it looks all grainy and shitty. So I figure I'm going to draw one, and I'll end up taking as high a quality of a picture of it as I can and importing that and using that as part of my thumbnail. So you actually get to experience me drawing out a portion of my thumbnail here, which is kind of cool, and I'm going to give it a shot. All right. This is unlikely to be a terribly exciting drawing, so if you want to skip it, feel free. Okay, I need a compass. That's perfect. Okay, I want messy lines. Should I be better served with, hell yeah. Okay, looks like we just made it in terms of ink. It was really starting to get fiddly there at the very end. I'm very pleased with how this has turned out. I think that all the sketchiness in here gives it a lot of texture, and because there are two key visuals for this. There's the sort of crystal clear one that has the very sketchy blue Yuji behind it, and then there's the one that's the actual poster, which has like Yuji with a burning hand or hand covered in blood, sort of in the painting or in the stained glass itself, and that one's much sketchier. And I wanted to go somewhere in between where it looked solid but clearly hand drawn, clearly very sketchy. And I think that having all this white that I did put in the effort to maintain instead of just like red all over, creates that feeling a little bit. Cool. Okay, I think that's pretty cool. I hope that it ends up working out when I try to incorporate it into a thumbnail. If it does, I kind of hope that I can incorporate more of my physical art into my thumbnails in the future. I think that would be a really cool touch. I already put a lot of effort into the thumbnails to make them kind of unique, I think, and it would be cool to have more of me in them. I think that would be really awesome. Now, we turn our attention to episode 49, season 3, episode 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen, titled One More Time. And your boy has a sword in his chest. That's where we left off. Looks like we're going to be starting off with the OP. Very excited. Love me, love me. And nothing else to it. Let's get to it. I've got episode 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3 sitting up and ready to go at 0 seconds. There will be 2 versions, picture-in-picture in the description, timer on YouTube, early access on the Patreon, subscribe while you're down there, and beep beep timer. Let's go. Drowning in the shame of living on. I'm paying attention to the lyrics this time. We end up torn up in the end. If that's our curse, we'll meet again. Accept me for who I am. That distortion's really cool. Right there. What a banger. All the crazy music, art references. Some people put a bunch of them together in the Discord for me. Okay, we're Letterbox. Is it the past? Who's this? Megumi's sister? I don't think so. It's very reminiscent of starting with Yuji on his own, sort of. Okie dokie. Not sorry enough to not do it! Oh, hi, Sukuna. I thought you might emerge during that. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Talk about novel styles. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hey! He's breaking through the glass panes themselves? We're just leaving Choso to get killed here, man. We need to do something. My cursed womb. Oh, brother. Just on one foot. Oh, now I'm scared. You know he's not gone. Fuck. God damn, he predicted him too. Choso. Oh, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. At least you pushed him that far. What a dick! To carry a knife? Yeah, it is pretty lame. It's kind of what they do, right? Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, he hates everyone. Hmm. Ha. I love these foreground objects, or like in between objects. You've internalized them. He realized he's in danger. That transition to red, Choso just took over. Yeah, wait, what? What is this torrent of blood? What is that? This is an absurd scene. I can genuinely say that I have never seen anything like this at all. He remerged with his image. Whoa! Let's go, Choso! He's still got his stupid bullshit ability, though. No. I really want to believe in you, Choso. Hit everything. Come on, hit everything. Every direction. Let's go. Holy shit, he got him. Do not take it easy. Do not take it easy. Kill him right now. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Choso, I want to believe in you. Don't walk closer. Oh my god, that's so beautiful. Oh god, it's so beautiful. Don't monologue. Don't get caught monologuing. Please. Please. Fuck, what? What the shit? What the fuck? Yuta? Hey, could you not? Could you not? Maybe. Oh god, fuck. Ho, 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 ho. It's cursed blood. Please don't. No, please don't. Just let him die, Yuta. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Jean? Father and grandfather? The mother's the one. The mother is Kamo. It's not the father, it's the mother. Oh, yeah, she died and then was not died. What? And you're alive now, too. So, Yuta just had somebody else report Itadori's death and didn't kill Itadori. And knows it. He's saving him. What the fuck, Yuta? Hey, dude, let's talk. He healed him. Oh, shit. Fuck you, show. They had me. They had me. Completely. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So that's why he made the request. Let me do it personally. Because he knew that he could attack him and save him. Our cuts to letterbox for past stuff is great. You know. Yeah, silly joke. He would have a boyfriend, obviously. We know how this show's written. So we hinted at this scene's occurrence. You asked directly. Yeah, it's a great idea. Fuck, man. You're so terrifying, Yuta. And then you had to figure out a way to go about that binding vow. And Sukuna probably realized it. So you technically died, and then we whooped you back. Yeah, you're a little special. You are my special. Holy shit, I'm so glad that we're friends. That's so goddamn cool. But now you gotta hide. Okay. What can we do? What's the plan, man? It's Yuta's core. And he's been there too, yeah. No, there's some of that, though, too. It's not your fault! It's not your fault! Yeah, it's not gonna land. Holy shit, Megumi! Squad? Squad? Wait, what? Am I not going to get murdered if I go there? He doesn't want to go. Yeah. He's still in the fire. You know what I did. Hey, do you realize what he did, though? Whoa, those facial expressions. We're sorcerers. I am a source of pain, and I will cause pain. So save me. People need your help, man. There's our title drop. Sister. So I think that scene of him walking away was Megumi walking away. Whoa, 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 whoa. These are our Culling game contestants, methinks. I need your help. I'll get a chance. I'll get a chance. It'll be fine. I don't care. Something add one new 100 points to add a new rule, some crazy bullshit. Alright, we're just what's the tower thing in the background? Is that the mid-roll or the ED? Okay, mid-roll. This is building up. Yeah. Yuji's righteously terrified of himself. Big questions. Cool. Cool. Okay. Is Tsukumo the, like, biker lady? Yes, it is. She got touched, man. Fuck. Thank God you're alive, Choso. Holy shit. Thank God, brother. Gosh, we're gonna break into JJK Tech. Ah! Ah! It is! And she's burned the fuck up. Cool. Hmm. This is like an Ocean's 11 scene where we've got all the parts moving. We're setting up a heist. Good. That's my brother. He's a homie and also a little bit of a curse. We need him. We need him. Okay. We're opening some doors that are magic. Oh shit, what the fuck? Just a door into nothingness. What? Oh? Oh. What a cool place. Oh man. Correct. I forget exactly whose blood that is. Is that the girl's blood? That swinging hand is really cool. Oh. But he can prevent you from entering. Oh, hello! Children of Zenin. I gotta go through all those names again, all those titles. Is that our end? That's our end! Yeah! Yeah! What a strange tone for the CD. Hmm. Walks down the stairs. Information, information. Awesome. We're gonna get so much information dumped on us next episode. That's gonna be great. There is a lot to talk about in this episode. I think the thing that stands out to me most is how effective this episode is at building on Yuji's shattered mental state. We are introduced to it sort of silently in the previous episode. We don't have any moments where it impacts our flow, or like Yuji makes decisions based on it, or other people are asking Yuji to do something and he refuses because of what's going on internally. This time, we have these moments once he's in conversation with Yuta and in conversation with Megumi, where we get his internal dialogue as he responds internally to their statements externally. So they say something, and we hear Yuji's thoughts unexpressed that nullify that statement. It's like listening to someone with an abusive inner dialogue, or like a self-effacing inner dialogue, where something emerges and the other script triggers, locks that down and crushes it, because to think that way would be dangerous, or to think that way would be would like would be not allowed in this moment. It's really interesting, and I think does a great job of showing us and telling us. This time we do both, because episode 1 is all show and this one's a blend of show and tell. Where is Yuji at? I think that the twist with Yuta is brilliant. It fully got me. Like, I had no clue that that was going on. I like Yuta, and he is terrifying. And I think that the first episode with him, like, walking by the window and us seeing his sword, and these couple of moments where he's looming in the background and then appears as an undefeatable, element, like he's truly an unstoppable spear or something like that, makes him genuinely terrifying, and there's no indication to me that he's doing anything but what he said he would do, go and kill Yuji. Turns out that that's all a play, and we're just in the group of people being deceived by it. Brilliant. Brilliant. And then I think standout thing for the episode in animation terms, there are kind of two, actually. One is intricate facial expressions to give us emotional context. The other is the Choso blood versus the Zenin guys scene. Like, I don't, what the fuck was that? It happened and then it stopped happening, and I've never seen anything animated anywhere near like that. That was easily some of the most unique shit that I've ever seen. I wonder if, because of the sort of fluidity of it, if it was maybe shit name W name slidey guy, spinny guy, big orbs of light guy. I don't know. I'm really curious who did those cuts, and also to look at them again and try to figure out what the fuck is going on. Because the way that we were distorting character faces and stuff, and almost it felt like sometimes we were looking at what was really there, and sometimes we were looking at reflections on the entire rippling mass of blood as it careens down these hallways and like overcomes and is attacking Naoya. I don't know what I was looking at, but it was extraordinary. Like, what the fuck, man? In a sense, you ever been surfing or boogie boarding or just out in the ocean and get tumbled by a wave? Like a wave crashes over you and you get fully rocked by it. You lose sense of which way is up and which way is down, and you're just like just tumbling under the surface. That whole minute plus sequence felt like being under the surface of the water, tumbled by forces that I can't see coming, but I'm experiencing all the way through. What the hell was that? Because that was completely unique. Okay, let's go through the episode. Let's talk about it. OP. Okay, I want to mention about the OP. There are all of these references to famous art pieces that I didn't get because my understanding of lots of, especially the Eastern art pieces, just isn't there. Like this one with him stabbing the tiger is super famous, and there are just a whole bunch more. I think they're really fucking cool. And one that I want to note is this one. This is a reference to, it's called Dead Mother. Yeah, by Egon Schiele. And I bring it up because she's got the cut on her forehead. So it appears that Kamo Noritoshi, this is my guess, that Kamo Noritoshi took the body of the wife of the man Jin, who we just saw in his baby style flashback. So it is his mother who brings the Kamo craziness into Yuji's experience. Fascinating. And really cool to tell that through these paintings. I think that's really interesting. So the OP is an absolute bop, and I guess now that we have context, a lot of these characters who are unfamiliar are probably people who've been awakened by Kamo during the Culling game. Like, these are probably going to be Culling game contestants, these guys, these people. Which makes sense why they feel distinct from previous sorcerers that we've met, and they all feel like they're one particular thing. And it's neat. Okay, letterboxes. They're used judiciously throughout the episode, these cropped in top and bottom. Whenever I see that, they read to me as flashback or out of time or just distinct. Like, we're setting these scenes apart from the other scenes. And either that's happening somewhere else or it's happening in the past. And I'm not sure what's going on here. My take on this scene is that that's Tsumiki, his sister, and he's walking away from her a long time ago? Or is this after she's awakened and now she's a part of the Culling game and Megumi is walking away from her, new mission in hand, knowing that he needs to try to save her and go speak to Yuji? That actually seems like a better understanding, because she's been in this coma for a long time, and she was probably a much smaller girl before she was in a coma. Okay, I think that's going to be my take and my understanding. The scene is kind of extended uncomfortably. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and cut the scene there and it's over. But we don't. The scene goes on and goes on and goes on and goes on all the way until she fades completely into the background. It's really interesting. There's also like an angle transition. There's from here to the feet to here, and then we get a third angle to include his shoulder walking away. So we tell this story in 3 parts. The first part is you're walking away. The second part is that's what's there. The third part is you're walking away from that. But there's also a little bit of I don't know, like a clenched fist onward into the future vibe from the walk. Just from the walk, right? Like how is this walk infused with that? But I think it is. I think there's something about the walk that's like, all right, we gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. I'm walking away from you so that I can save you, you know? Yeah. One more time. He seems to just wait. Yeah? He experiences that, has a moment where it connects with him somehow, but then he just waits. Oh my god, the blown out, and blown out is the wrong term for this. The bleary, streaky lighting and the lens flares. And we leap into action. He just sort of explodes into little pieces, like literally explodes into a bunch of parts. And then re-warps in and out and in again. That's crazy. That's just fucking frame one of this bullshit. Every time he appears for this portion, it's in the most warpy, the most smeared possible. And then it's like the smears extend out from them. The smears on the body feel like they impact the smoke rings and waves of force that come off of them. It all feels strangely connected. Kabam! And then he's in, and we're completely destroying any sense of continuity between his parts, frame by frame. But in motion, it's perfect. Hell, it's more than perfect. He's actively jumping between frames using his cursed technique. This is extraordinary. Even the first moments of it are extraordinary. Whips through for these huge, goes for it again. What? He's back in, grinning, smiling, disappearing, reappearing, smearing everywhere. We gotta know who this is. Sakagaburu, please. Okay, we've got 43 seconds. The first 43 seconds of this sequence, it looks like, are by Yakumo Crack. I also saw Keiichiro Watanabe listed up in here, I think, for some of the stuff that I was unable to compute in my brain case. Let's look at Yakumo Crack's version. Bro really is on crack. I thought this was Akihiro Ota. Amazingly done. Bro animating like he's on crack. Yeah, no, there seems like there might be some amphetamines or other stimulants involved here. That's a joke. This is incredibly artistic. I don't think I've ever seen anything by Yakumo Crack. I mean, look, like, holy shit. Okay. Literally all of this is Yakumo Crack. Literally all of this is Keiichiro Watanabe. Yeah? Great. Great. We're going to pull this back down and look at it directly. In particular, this front-facing sequence where he's like, we're getting his facial expressions and then he's sort of disappearing into flurries of blows each time. The chunk of glass refracting his facial expressions, creating like a broken mirror in space that fades away as it goes. That's nuts. All the while he's warping and twisting and like re-smearing bits and pieces of him. Bashed down, and we have this conversation with these chunks of rebar and concrete and stuff in the way. I really like the way that those elements break up the flow of the shot reverse shot between Choso and Naoya. Also, this little hop on one foot is really cool, just the way his foot compresses. We do so many different versions of this same frame. Here's one. Here's another. Here's another. Totally distinct, right? Completely different texture to everything, different texture to the light. We're back to the same kind of lighting as the first moments of the scene. And then this one, also completely distinct, right? Up close, personal, solid, static. And then this one, also distinct. Another sketchy, blurred lights, but totally different vibe, darkness all around. It's like different cameras, different ISOs, different angles, different views on the whole thing. Not just shot of an explosion, right? Make it more impactful, but like 4 different angles with different perspectives from different viewpoints of this whole scene. and all of them building toward like there's a threat incoming, there's somebody coming. You look at it from every potential angle, every potential direction, and there he is. Bam. Choso makes for the counterattack, and he moves around it because he was ready for a counterattack. God damn. Pulls a blade. So now we have this piece of rebar in the center, and we really use it over the next couple of minutes. I think it's a 3D model. I'm not even sure. It might just be a couple of layers of drawn stuff. I don't know. It's cool. But seeing it, skipping through it, we can really see it move across the space. I think it is CG. Kind of has to be. It's gorgeous looking. And it blocks their eye line between each other, makes the tension that still exists between them literally physical inside the frame. And the conversation that they end up having is about brothers. Naoya starts shitting on his older brothers. He thinks nothing of them, thinks of them as awful, and that he would be better off without them. And it's completely opposed to Choso's view on brotherhood and what it means to be an older brother. Like, Choso's the older brother who looks out, tries as best as he can to look out for his younger brothers, and Naoya is a younger brother who really thinks his older brothers are pieces of shit and worthless and discounts their impact on his life completely. And Choso, older brothers inferior to their younger brothers have no reason to exist. They may as well just die. Well, maybe they impacted who you are. Maybe you're strong because they were weak and you wanted to follow a different path. It's really cool. Even if they're inferior, that example is useful. Important. If I go down a wrong path, I will have illuminated that path for my brothers and they can choose a different one. And if I go the right way, they can follow me. Maybe you're strong because you went the other way from your weak older brothers. But Naoya doesn't want to give them even that much credit. He's like, no, it was all me. Why am I so tough? I never had an example. Okay, this is so fucking cool. I'll tell you, and he runs, realizes he's in danger. We do this full big turnaround, and the light bleeds from yellow gold to orange to deep red as Choso takes over the scene. That's so fucking cool. And it happens in the midst of his verbal argument. So, as he makes his point clear, he takes over the scene because he's in power now. That is so freaking cool. That's why I'm strong. Whoa, like a train coming through the tunnel. Whoosh, and it's all blood. And this is all Keiichiro Watanabe. Okay. Okay, or at least this is, once we go to this sort of three-dimensional feel to it. Gosh, that looks so much like the Lord of the Rings river with horses. And Naoya starts zooming, starts really, really smoothing and grooving here. I don't have words for it, but he's turning into his after images over and over and over. Voo, 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 voo. Okay. So there's a lot of blurring going on over top of what's been drawn, and that obfuscates things a bit. But contributes to the feeling immensely. He's flowing. I mean, I gotta say, I think this is where it kicks off for me. We dissolve Naoya into 3 dark colors and this highlight. And then a painting flowing in liquid paint is the feeling that I get from his movement. It reminds me of other Keiichiro Watanabe shots like Todo and Itadori on all the plant stuff going on, sort of sweeping, almost dancing as they go. It's got that element of dance, and he's got these dangling sleeves that add to it. But yeah, he's whipping stuff around him. Now that I look at it more clearly, it's crystal clear that it's Watanabe. It's reminiscent of Gojo spinning the ball of power as well. What the fuck is that? What the fuck, Watanabe? And then sometimes something like cuts through the noise of things. Like everything has been blurry and noisy. And now it's like there are these crystal clear, sharp, dark lines. And this spinning object that for a moment takes our attention and feels coherent. And then we're back to like broad camera moves and not sure where we're looking. And we're looking at Naoya again. And then he gets impacted by it, I think, or dodges it maybe. It's unclear to me. In terms of clarity, this is not doing clarity. But for the creation of momentum, I've never seen anything like it. It manages to do this, like, hang in space as well for just a second and drop down. Careen through the whole 3D space in, like, 2 frames. Boom. Dodging under beams. He's still got, like, a grinning, like, an enjoyment expression on his face sometimes through this. It's blurry and hard to see, but he seems like he's having a blast. And then again, the contrast of sharp lines from these shadows as they go by, as though they're solid objects. Shadows become as solid as the things that create them, and the blood that's flowing over everything makes everything else kind of warped and insubstantial. This is an insane scene. Like, we're following a blade of blood now, as it destroys all these things. He doesn't seem very happy now. What is that one? What the fuck? Did he get impacted by it? I'm not even sure. All his after images connect down to one. Whoa. Okay, so these are pillars going by. Voop, 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 voop. Is he actually cutting through the blood flow as it's coming at him? And it all just stops. With everything in this space covered. And then the lights. What an incredible scene. I have no idea what I just witnessed. It is not my favorite type of animation. But I've never seen anything like it. It's completely novel to me. Has Watanabe leveled up? He may have leveled up in a direction that's, like, weird and not what I want to see from him continuously in the future. But, what? That was crazy. If we can keep pulling that out in the midst of explosions or particularly key pivotal moments, that was, like, modern art, like, insanity. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Whoa. Hey, buddy. Checkmate. Yeah, not quite. Tells us about the technique, goes for his 24 FPS skip stuff, seems real confident, try me. And Choso tries him. This switch to black on white is really cool, the darkness of the blood, completely without color. Choso came up with something new. All that blood does something. I'm really not sure. It's like he exploded every bit of blood all throughout the everything. That's what it seems like. It worked. He got him. Oh man, this set of feet on ripply blood stuff, like look at the texture that's created in it. And then the reflections are exact and rippled by blah, 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 and all the light scattering. Wow. We match him and move the CG camera, and immediately I got scared once this was happening. I started going like, don't monologue, because this scene is like perfectly set up for us to be locked in on Choso and something else to happen unexpected. And that's exactly what happens. I can't understand how you could never love your brothers. What a terrible way to be. He gets ready to kill him, and Yuta's here. Just completely blank-faced, slow-mo as fuck, out of nowhere. Wait a sec. Thump! Poor Choso. He's dragging Yuji. He needs somebody else to do the reporting. He needs somebody to report that he's succeeded so that he can save his fucking life and not succeed at this and follow through with what his real mission is. Ah, it's so clever. We've also set up a conflict between Naoya and Yuta here. Naoya seems to think that Yuta is looking down on him. And I think that he's the kind of guy who'd be willing to kill for something like that. But it's more than that, too, right? Like, Yuta's not a member of one of the big families. He's just a piece of shit nobody. And people think he's powerful and think he's important and stuff. And they put him above Naoya on their tier list power rankings. Impossible. Yeah, I think Naoya's going to try to kill Yuta at some point. Especially if he finds out that he's been played and made, and Yuji is not actually dead. Oh yeah, I think he's going to try to kill him. But Yuta does not leave him to die here, with cursed blood in his system and whatever injury he's taken. Yuta offers and follows through with his reversed cursed technique and gets what he really needs. Itadori's death reported to the top brass. That's so fucking clever. Ah! It transitions us into another letterbox and some history. Baby memories. Holy shit. But the first memory that he has is from outside himself? How does that work? Is there a second child? No, right? Because it's more like we're in his dad's eyes and then we're in his eyes, baby eyes looking up at the dad? I don't know. What is it, Dad? If it's about her again, I'm leaving. If you're going to tell me to stay away from her, I'm just going to leave. You can live however you please, but you have to stay away from her. You'll die. Don't say such mean things in front of Yuji. So he actually was named Yuji. Babies remember more than we think. I know you wanted a child, and that didn't happen with Kaori. But Kaori died, and then she just straight up appears there. There she is. What do you mean, father? Oto-san. She's got the fucking scar. Mom! The slow build into Yuta saying Yokata, thank goodness, is such a good reveal because it clicks everything into place. It's like, oh my god, that's what happened. Incredible. He's been hunting him to save him this entire time. Oh, thank goodness. And it's so cool because Yuta's been producing this sort of like, I am the Yuta, I am the killer of killers, right? This facade the whole time. To actually see him drop it and just be a human. It's so nice. It's actually, now that I think about it, I think it's the first, like, emotionally human kind of feeling line in the whole season. We have these intense interactions between Choso and Yuji. We have these intense interactions between the Zenins hating each other. We have these intense fights with curses and stuff. And then, yay, wow, just like a smile, a little bit of humanity comes through from Yuta, of all people. That's awesome. He tells us what it was. He asked me to take care of you. Got a bit of a bad feeling. Letterboxed again. Binding vow, so I had to actually kill you for a second. And then instantly heal you. Brilliant. Goddamn fucking brilliant. Might figure it out, but it is chaos. Why would you go that far? Simple answer. The people I care about you. Okay. Yuta's core is the people that he cares about, including Rika, right? So to do something secondhand for them makes perfect sense. But it's more than that, too. He was in Yuji's position, right? It turned out to be something I brought upon myself. But you're different. You didn't bring this upon yourself. You did nothing wrong. This is tough. because it's still blood on his hands. He's still the one who was there, right? Like, yeah, the devil inside me is the one who did all of this, but that doesn't land for Yuji, not even a little bit. And this is where we start having that inner monologue, inner dialogue that shuts those ideas down. You don't get it. Whether I'm at fault is irrelevant because of me. So it's like, it doesn't matter whether I intended for this to happen. It happened, and I was at the center of it. There are some great facial expressions coming up. This one where he realizes that Megumi is there is awesome. Megumi's walk in the background is pretty cool, too. Actually, Megumi's walk in the background 100% makes me convinced that it was Megumi walking in the first frame. Because it's like literally as though he walked out of that scene and into this one. Because of me. Fushiguro. We're going back! Let's go, come on! Barrier's weak, and he looks down in a way. He can't even look at him. You should be able to get back without an issue. We'll meet the upperclassmen. He turns away to the fire, and then the fire overcomes everything. Where is Yuji? He's in the flames still. He's still in the burning city. He's still got blood on his hands. Super simple, right? Super simple, but the ability to cut to a scene that's the same scene from a different angle and have it mean something else, that's film stuff. That's careful thought. It's like, how do I express visually and experientially so that you know what happened emotionally when you see it and hear it? How do we get that to express and convey and get across the screen into your mind and then become the idea that is that we're trying to plant the seed of? Goso's really freaking good at it. Like, really good at it. Stop it. Don't just brush it off. Don't act like nothing happened. I killed people. And he, like, saying it out loud, he comes to almost a realization about it on the face, overwhelmed by it, and then locks it down again. He becomes angry about it, right? So we watch him grow from despair, like, somebody's gotta punish me, man, to don't act like nothing happened, I killed people, to awareness of what that really was, like, re-envisioning the scenes, like, oh shit, and then anger about it. Because of me! So many people died. Thrusts his hand away. Megumi has an answer because of us. And he's right. He's the one who summoned Maharaga, right? And without Maharaga's presence there, things would have been very different. Because of us. We went as, like, a collective. Like, all the sorcerers went to this thing. We fell into a trap. We knew it was a trap, and we had to fall into it. And we fell into a trap, and this is the result. But then we lock into Yuji's mind. There's this little transition. Clink. Clink. Of course you'd say that. Of course that's your line. Don't act like this is yours alone. But he doesn't say yours alone to carry. Like, this is yours alone to give up. Interesting phrasing. We reverse the frame. Now we have some of that darkness on Megumi's face. These background objects, all the weird rebar sticking out of the darkness, kind of cool. I can't think of anything quite like it. It's kind of neat. Yeah. Some great expressions. We aren't heroes, we're Jujutsu sorcerers, a line that has been told to us before. We have to keep proving we exist. And we again click into Yuji's mind. I didn't realize that there were these little clicks in there. They're subtle. That's not the point, man. You're like, yeah, we have to prove that we exist and keep doing good in the world. It's like, but I killed so many people. We don't have the time to worry about ourselves. If you say that, we have to keep saving people. But as long as you're with me, that was your drive all along anyway. It was your idea, was to save people, at least to give them better deaths. But if you're with me, you'll end up suffering. So we get to the root of it. I am the source of pain. My presence will cause damage to you. And so I have to cut myself off from you for your safety. Hedgehog's dilemma almost, but without the dilemma part. There's no part of Yuji that thinks that he deserves connection or like even wants it. This is the hedgehog who has destroyed the world's dilemma, which is like, people are trying to fucking help me, and I know they're just going to impale themselves on my spikes, and I don't even want them close, because I don't want to be helped. I want to die. I want to despair. I want to be free of this burden. I want this blood off my hands. But from Yuji's point of view, where he's sitting, there's no way out. These things happened, and they're his fault, and there's nothing that can be done to reconcile them. You can't get those dead people back. That was your drive all along, so start by saving me. Incredibly strong logic from Megumi, I think. And it gets to him. I need your help. Death game, cursed techniques, culling game, and my sisters, I definitely called her the wrong name, for sure. Please, Itadori. Flash, flash, flash. Bunch of people who are going to be involved. Ooh. I need your help. It takes a lot out of him to ask this. But he needs this help. Okay, let's go through the rules. After awakening their cursed technique, players must declare participation in the culling game at a colony of their choice within 19 days. What counts as a colony? I don't know. Players who fail to comply with the first rule shall be stripped of their technique. Yikes. Non-players who enter a colony become players at the moment of entry and shall be considered to have declared participation in the culling game. So anybody who enters a colony. What is a colony? Is that a colony? Are they the big box things that fly in the sky? Big arrival tubes? Whatever the fuck those are? Yeah, probably. Points indicate the value of a player's life and are determined by the game master. As a general rule, sorcerers are worth 5 points and non-sorcerers are worth 1 point. Players score points upon ending the life of another player. Okay, wait, hold on. After awakening to their cursed technique. So, if you are a non-sorcerer who awakens to your cursed technique, you still count as a 1 point non-sorcerer? Whereas if you are a sorcerer, you already have a cursed technique. Do you, how do currently existing sorcerers enter the game? Unclear. Players may spend 100 points. So you gotta kill 20 sorcerers or up to 100 fucking normal people to negotiate with the game master. Or I guess Kamo is probably considered the game master. To add 1 new rule to the culling game, excluding the initial point value assigned to their own lives. So you can't spend your own 5 points. So you have to kill 21 sorcerers. The game master must accept any proposed new rule in accordance with the previous rule, unless it would have a marked and long-lasting effect on the culling game. That's such a bullshit clause. Must accept this unless they don't want to. Players who do not show any change in points within 19 days of joining or acquiring points shall be stripped of their technique. If you're stripped of your technique, are you still a player? Are you still worth points? Yikes. If you are stripped of your technique and you are still worth points, there's no bowing out, is there? Because people will still come after you for your points, so you have to fight and die. And that means that Sumiki has no way out. The only way out is to enter and fight. Okay, cool. It feels like there are probably a bunch of loopholes and cool things that you could do with these rules. I assume we're not going to. The author's going to follow their own rules and whatnot. But honestly, with the way that rules have been up in the air over the course of this season, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some funky shit happening. Kind of exciting. You know, maybe like teams working together to make points. Stuff like that. That's cool. What a strange thing. Please, Itadori, I need your help. Okay, and he's got one thing to settle before he can do that. I think this is really cool. Yuji is willing to help, but he needs to settle himself. right? He fundamentally doesn't trust himself. And so he needs a backup plan. He needs some kind of safety net so that he can go and fight full tilt. Otherwise, he's going to hold himself back and lose and die, and then probably Sukuna will emerge. So he registers it with Okotsu. Sukuna's plotting something. 15 fingers inside that boy. Yeah, if I ever switch, kill me. I trust that you can. Okay, I'll give it my best. Yeah, I don't know that he can, but I don't know who would be better for the job. So we go back to make connection with Tengen. Need answers? Let's go get some answers. I'm sorry, Fushiguro. Yeah, I'll ask now. What happened to Kugisaki? And that's all he needed to realize it. Clenches his fist. I see. I get it. But it takes another. I get it. And then Choso's here. Hi, Choso. Good to meet you, buddy. So we're gonna heist Jujutsu Tech. It's been done once before. Now we gotta do it again. It's so cool that we have Maki. We really don't get to see her face, which is a damn shame. We can use Choso's technique to follow it. It really does feel like a heist movie setup, like an Ocean's movie sort of situation. Hey, who is this guy? Oh, he's my brother. Yuji! Almost a little bit of Toto there. Ah, fuck. And a strange, like, frosted forest? What a cool place. And we are rejected in the void. And then accepted? Leaving already. It's nice to meet you. Children of Zenin, so Fushiguro and Maki. Descendant of Michizane. Don't know who that is. Is that her? Blonde her? Cursed Womb Death Painting. Yep. And Vessel of Sukuna. So there's one missing, right? He either doesn't mention Yuta or doesn't mention her. One of them is the descendant of Michizane. Maybe if she's the one who thinks that she was rejected, then she's the one that he doesn't mention. I don't know. I don't think it's probably terribly important. Is that Tengen? I don't remember if we actually know. Fuck yeah! Looks like we're maybe gonna get some answers sometime during the next episode called About the Culling Game. Well, if you're gonna do a big game show, you gotta set up the rules, unless it's Game Changer and you change the rules every time. But you still need a plan. Okay. Banger of an episode, as expected. Lots of unique animation, lots of unique choices made to better convey emotional experiences, especially in the interactions between Yuta and Yuji and Megumi over the course of this. Then peppered with, like, the letterboxing taking us back into the past and into the present, the way that information is transferred to us across the whole thing, and sort of capped off with the Watanabe cut and the Yakumo crack cut of this really insane hand-to-hand combat, and then broad-scale bloody explosion extravagance. Really freaking cool. Let's go glance at a couple more of the cuts on Sakugaburu, because I only looked at the first couple, and then we'll call it there. So we looked at these two. I'm gonna look through these as well. Okay, that's your boy running. This is that setup for the counter. Woof. Bam. Boom. And then just absolute freaking insanity from Fei Hung and Artist Unknown. Annie James for click, 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 click. And then the darkness and this sort of inverted color scheme. All the big running and then the blah, blah, blah. Cool. Xuanjing Wang. This is for the aftermath. The slow walk forward, the water ripples, the match to the 3D, and then the Okotsu reveal. Ah! Cool. Walk in. this should low genuinely be cut with the still frame. I don't understand. It's cool. Ooh, a little strange how Itadori goes from Kaganashi at 46 to fully shaded at 49, then back to Kaganashi at 119, then fully shaded again at 124. I believe that happens when we jump into his internal voice. Let's check. 46. So here he is, shadowless Kaganashi, and then we click. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this weirdest part was that those weird lighting changes weren't even in the movie and was consistent for the most part, so it might be a directorial choice that I don't exactly understand. All you need to know what dialogue is happening during this scene. During the moments when he is shadowless, or from this angle, right? He's in the fire. He's in the fire, right? The fire is existing around him. He's elsewhere, right? So he turns to Megumi here, and he expresses out loud. Now he's one-to-one, face-to-face with Megumi in the darkness, expresses out loud, and then we click in, and inside his mind he goes, that's what you're thinking, but blah, 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 blah. Let's grab it from the episode. Boom. We cut away from it. We're going to cut back to it to repeat the same chain. Right? We aren't heroes. We're Jujutsu sorcerers. We're back here. We're Kaganashi. No lights on him. We have to keep proving we exist. Jump into his mind. But that's not the point, man. Each time, it's the aside. It's the part of the internal voice that's like arguing against it. And it demonstrates to us that Yuji and Fushiguro are not speaking to each other in the same plane. It's only when start by saving me, Itadori, he actually looks up at him. Now Megumi is shadowless, and you're with the fire. Okay, what do we do afterward? Culling game. I need your help. We turn in his frame to Okotsu, and then we stand up and turn and ask about her, right? Okay, here we are. Both of them now looking at each other, actually speaking to each other. It's cool. It's really just the jumps to having light and fully shading during his emotional internal moments. It's really clever. Okay. Next, Yakumo crack. We looked at this. Keiichiro Watanabe, we looked at this. Oh, is that all of them? Yeah, it is. Okay, so then I guess I'll grab the rest as well. Bing, 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 bing. And we'll just skip over those two insane cuts because we looked at them at the beginning. Meeting the whole team! All the homies. All the people. Hell yeah. Brother. Son of a bitch with a knife. I really like this 3D object in the center. It's super cool. Especially with the, like, stadium lights blaring down at us. It's super cool. Blurry, awaken. Yuta's expressions. Cool. Yuji's expressions. Clenched fist. Cool. And that's a call it. That's the end of the thing. That's all the cuts that we have to look at for the episode. What a blast. What a blast. Some novel animation shit and some really great storytelling. I'm excited for next time to find out what the Culling game will be, to set the stage for us, for our weird game show, and for Kamo's, like, goal, which is to create evolution amongst Jujutsu sorcerers, right? Like, he wants to birth something new out of this conflict. I wonder if it'll work. We'll have to find out next time on Jujutsu Kaisen. Thanks so much for watching this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the breakdowns and the run through and stuff. Drop your comments in the comment section. And if there's something insightful or valuable there, I'll bring it in for a comment spotlight next time. And I'm gonna go make a thumbnail. Thanks for watching, everybody. Much love. Peace.